Good morning, everybody. It's the first Wednesday of International Johnny Week. The only Wednesday of International Johnny Week. Well, it's the only Wednesday of the first International Johnny Week. So I thought I'd address the question of his type this morning. Why Johnny is an INFJ? I don't know for sure what type Johnny is because I've never typed him, obviously. But I woke up this morning when I woke up this morning, I was singing. She's like a shotgun. I need a daughter. Everything, everyone, but not to myself. Like that line. I mean, everyone to everyone, but not to myself. It's a very classic INFJ sentiment, The next line, which is, and if you ask me, I'm okay. But if I ask myself, the answer would probably change. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I lost my stride. I feel better. I look better when I'm in love. So those two lines right there, everything to everyone, but not to myself. And if you ask me, I'm okay. But if I ask myself, the answer would probably change. That's a total lack of fluency in subjective epistemics. Also, just his mistake freeness, only putting out good shit. He's not entirely mistake free. Some of his younger stuff is not good, but who doesn't make mistakes in their youth, He's only 25. To be this good that young requires a maximal fluency with universal truth, as it resonates with others, namely by FE. There's an INTJ on Alone Season 8 that I'm watching right now. He's like, I know about boating. I know about physics. He made a boat. It's the first boat he'd ever made, but it's pretty damn effective. He plans to use it to maximize the amount of fish he can pull out of Chichichichicha Lake or whatever it's called. I like Alone. I don't like it as much as Naked and Afraid, but I like it. So yeah, Johnny probably an INFJ. There are other songs that make me think he's an INFJ too, the lyrics, But that's the most classic INFJ lyrics of all. Everything to everyone, but not to myself. And if you ask me, I'm okay. But if I ask myself, the answer would probably change. Probably. I don't really know because I'm an INFJ. He's always extremely careful to avoid self-aggrandizing sounding lyrics. So, instead of being the stud who's banging all the chicks, he's the beta male who is neurotic about it. And that plays so much better. It's just crazy. In the song Everything, he says, I'm not saying I'm not struggling with coming to terms with the fact that we're just here on this earth to check off a list and not die alone. What he's really saying is we're just here on this earth to not check off a list and die alone, and we're really just dirt, But instead of being preachy and telling us that and stuff, he starts with, I'm not saying I'm not struggling with coming to terms with, and then he says what he wants to say. That's very good FE, right? It's like he's avoiding being a guru or whatever. Because nobody likes gurus. Except idiots. You know. That's why people hate me so much. Because I've got bad FE. And I tell people I'm right and they're wrong, rather than saying things like, I'm not saying I'm not struggling with coming to terms with, yeah. Those all just seem like unnecessary words to me. I am struggling to come to terms with the fact that I'm out of cigarettes, apparently. I've got a lot of butts around, so I'm fine. Um, for a while. But my Johnny themed pot roast is more or less done. It's been cooking all night, cooked all afternoon yesterday, all night on low. Put a lot of liquid in there so it can handle it, no problem. And the house just smells delicious right now. But as usual, I'm up early for no particularly good reason. Except that's just when I get up. Got up like every 2 hours last night to pee. Ridiculous. And the thing is, it's not like I just get up and pee a little bit. I don't know where all this pee comes from. I don't drink that many liquids. So I'm hopeful, but it's a it's a faint flicker of hope is at best that I'm going to get my vitamins today. Unlikely though. Why should it come today? It hasn't come any day previous to this. So we'll see what happens with that. At this point, I'm just kind of used to not being able to get any speed. It's like on some level, I just want to go punish the medical profession by going to Fresno and buying some meth. Just like, fuck all y'all, you know? You want it so badly to stop me from getting speed for some reason. I'll just bypass you and go get some meth. I already watched you eat. God, how much time do I have to watch you eat? Oh. Alright, let's turn on the TV and stuff here. I'll be right back here. Here it comes. Oh, kitty pants. Looking so cute. There's a kitty you just want to pet right there. You just want to reach out and just pet that kitty. Look at that. Look at that adorableness. Who doesn't want to pet that kitty? Everybody wants to pet that kitty. Because look at that kitty. Oh my God, she's so beautiful. My Johnny Pot Roast picture only got 3 thumbs up. What's wrong with you people? You go thumbs up my Johnny Pot Roast right now. Right now. Who's Steve Wilson? I never heard of this Steve Wilson character. Is he the inventor of Wilson tennis balls and tennis rackets? Where did I put my coffee? Did I leave it outside? Porcupine tree guy. I don't know any porcupine tree guy. I never heard of that before. They have a tree that grows porcupines or something? I'm tired of porcupines reproducing in the normal mammalian way. I've decided to grow, breed, and harvest a porcupine tree. Listen to trains? No, I refuse. I refuse to listen to trains. Oh, it's a track. Listen to trains. Oh, I'll check it out. Trains by Steve Wilson. I can't mute you. That's the problem. I'm on my phone. So I can't mute myself. So I'll have to look at that later. Train set and match spied under the blind, shiny and contoured, the railway winds. And I've heard the sound from my cousin's bed, the hiss of the train at the railway head. Those are pretty good lyrics. When the evening reaches here, you're tying me up. I'm dying of love. It's okay. Always the summers are slipping away. For me, the train is a metaphor for a nostalgic childhood. I'll have to check it out later, but thank you for the advice. Thank you for the recommendation. I mean, I'm always looking for good new music that I've not heard before, so thank you for that. I love finding good new music. It's like one of my favorite things. It's hard to do. You know, I have to listen to a lot of random tracks on YouTube that they recommend before I find something worth keeping. And even then, I don't really know if it's worth keeping right away. It takes me a while to listen to it multiple times and really make a determination as to whether it belongs on my list, you know. Huh. Well, that's a good quote from Johnny. Notice how he deflects in typical INFJ fashion, talking about who he admires rather than why he's so great. Johnny saw the progress picture on Rachel's Instagram. Rachel Instagrammed it. So that's pretty cool. Seems like Johnny's more active on Instagram than YouTube. Now, you can check out other artists during International Johnny Week, Winston's mom. You just have to compare those artists to Johnny. And you have to point out how they're inferior to Johnny. Well, you obviously haven't listened to him at all. If you think that, Boba Fett. John Mayer uses the train as a metaphor as well for childhood, successfully, I'd say, in the song "Somebody Stop This Train." Oh no, Johnny's much better than that person. I haven't even heard it, and I can already tell you that. I've already watched you eat. Here, let the live stream watch you eat, and I will go get my coffee, okay? I'll be right back. All right, come on. Let's go eat. Come on, Mr. Man. Daddy's here to watch you eat. Yes. Come on. Let's eat. Oh, yes. And Daddy knows. You like to eat with an audience. This cat, I tell you, he's a real piece of work. There was a lizard inside last night. I tried to catch it, but it got away from me. So then later on, I saw Capillo had it cornered under the chair. And it was lying in wait to kill it. Meanwhile, Trouble had seen it too, but he gave up on it right away. I went and lay down with Rachel. I just got pets. Because you're not a very good worker. You're not doing your job as a cop. You're supposed to kill all the small creatures that come into our house. Instead, you just want us to watch you eat and pet you. But you know, cats are famous for lazy males and hardworking women. Just look at lions. The males just fight with each other and treat the women like slaves. The women have to go get all the food and everything. Oh, yes. Daddy knows. So Rachel and I went berry collecting yesterday. And we went out with our new walking sticks that we got. And when we got home, this sentence naturally occurred and came out of my mouth. I'll get the sticks if you'll handle the berries. It wasn't until she walked out of the garage and put the berries in the fridge that I realized, oh my God, that's a line from a pornography movie. There is a lizard in the chat. I didn't see that before. I'll show them to you. I think they're blackberries, but they could be like huckleberries or something. I'm not sure. I'm no berry expert. So I had like a whole bunch of them, and I spilled my whole bag inside of one of the berry bushes. In the end, Rich and I got about the same amount, but I've got a little bit less berries. We put heavy cream over this and some sugar on them, and it's an excellent dessert. Looks like that, these berries. They grow, there's several berry bushes around, just within easy walking distance from our house, that is full of berries. I would assume that bears eat them a lot, you know? Because I guess bears eat a lot of berries. And there are definitely bears around here. So, a species of mulberry? I think that's a mulberry? I don't know. The plant has lots of spines on it. And the leaves look a little bit like pot leaves. But I wore my modesty pants and my boots yesterday so I could really get into the bush. But next time I go, I'm going to wear long sleeves too, because when those thorns prick you, um, it makes you itchy. So, Boba Fett says mulberries, but I've seen a mulberry tree before. Mulberry trees are the things that silkworms eat. I don't think they even have berries. California blackberry rubus ursinus. The reason it's called ursinus probably is because bears eat it. Urs is bear. Well, I've seen a mulberry tree. It's not a bush at all. This species is one of the original parents of the hybrids loganberry and boysenberry. Huh. Well, they are in season right now. They are ripe, and the bushes are absolutely loaded with them. And if we were to drive a little bit, we'd have more blackberries than we knew what to do with. Because as soon as you hit the road, all on the side there's blackberry bushes. Kind of rose plant, huh? It certainly does have a lot of thorns. Just like palm trees aren't trees. Did you guys know that? Palm trees are not trees. Palm trees are a kind of grass. A very tall kind of grass. Well, there's no reason to, because they grow naturally within easy walking distance, like just down the street, this way too. So there's no reason to grow them myself. We can just walk to the plants. It would be pointless. There's plenty of wild blackberries around here. I don't need to grow them myself. If I hadn't spilled my whole bag of berries into the bush where I couldn't even reach them, my bag of berries would have been like almost full. Rachel's not as efficient at picking them as I am. What I am going to grow instead of blackberries is weed. So, come spring, I'm going to plant a couple of plants, probably in big pots. so I can move them around a little bit, if need be. I kind of need to get a hand truck. It's one of the things that went missing in the move. I don't know if it was stolen or what, but I had one in the pod and it's gone. Yeah, I'll grow again. No, I'm gonna grow outside this as well. I don't need the massive electricity bills, for one thing. And PG&E just sent us a notification that they're raising the rates again in winter, which I kind of get because I know they're putting a lot of money into burying all these cables around here. They're kind of taking it out on the residents by. I mean, our electricity bill 1 month this summer was $500. That's just ridiculous. After that, I mean, that was July. It was the wedding month. We had guests. We had a guest for like a week that ran very hot, and we just had like the air conditioning on all month long continually. So we learned a lesson there, though. We learned, okay, we got to be a little more electricity conscious. In the summer, we're going to use a lot of electricity. In the winter, then we have very low electricity bills, but we have high propane bills. It costs $1,500 or so to fill up the propane tank. We filled it up a little bit before the wedding, and it'll last all the way for like a long ass time. As long as we don't use the central heating or these little fireplaces here, then propane lasts forever. We just use it for the stove and the water heater and stuff. But come winter, when we need it for heat, then we start burning through propane. But you know what? That's a long way in the future. This is International Johnny Week, because not tomorrow, because it is Wednesday, but the next day, Rachel and I will be going to San Luis Obispo and seeing the man himself, Johnny, live in concert at some venue in San Luis Obispo that I forget the name of. We're going to be staying in the Courier and Ives room at the Madonna Inn. Rachel suggested, I think it's a good idea, that we're going to make reservations for the Steakhouse so that we don't well, I tell you what, man. Les was right. Southern California Edison is so much better than PG&E. Oh my God, how bad is PG&E? I haven't had PG&E since I was in college. Southern California Edison is way better. I mean, they do such a better job. Yeah, we'll get reservations for the Steakhouse for dinner. Although, we'll probably be eating so early, like 5:30, that we might not need them, but it's a good idea to get them anyway. If you eat dinner really early like an old person, like the blue plate special as they used to call it, um, then you can usually get into even busy restaurants if you try to get in right when they start serving dinner. A lot of people don't like to eat that early. I like to eat early. Anyway, we're gonna go to that lovely pink steakhouse during a time of year when it's gonna be undecorated, which I kind of appreciate. It's like we're just gonna see the steakhouse in all its natural glory without any additional miggity maz like Christmas decorations. And if I wanted to really be thematically appropriate, I would have some kind of pink suit to wear when I eat there. Because it's such a pink place. But yeah, that steakhouse is Madonna, and it's got to be one of my favorite places in the world. It's so delightful. I don't think Johnny's gonna invite us to the after party. I'm pretty sure we're more or less beneath his notice. I mean, sure, he saw the picture of the pot roast on Rachel's Instagram feed, but he didn't comment on it. I don't know how Instagram works really. I'm not a grammer. Yeah, you know what? I might bring this blue once in a while. It's not purple, okay? Blue. I'm not Barney the dinosaur. I would love to meet him. I would love to make a short with me saying something to Johnny and shaking his hand or something. 10 seconds long. That would be fantastic. Yes, I'm sure it's blue. Man, I've been coughing a lot lately when I pull bong rips. I think it's because we've been smoking a lot of this one indica strain that's kind of harsh compared to the sativas anyway. I mean, all these strains are very smokable, not especially coffee, but my lungs feel kind of cashed. Okay. So let's talk a little bit more about why Johnny's an INFJ. Mostly it's just because of how carefully he avoids mistakes, especially in his lyrics. And how FE conscious those lyrics are. So if you look at the lyrics to Adios, and I've talked about this before, he subverts all the expectations and things. Come a little closer, sinking to the sofa. She don't want my love. And now I feel like a blackout. New York City grid maxed out when she said adios. Adios. I was thinking something sweet, but you wouldn't let me speak. And in my head, I'm thinking, oh no, don't go. Feeling bluer than your jeans, belt buckled to my knees, high waisted self esteem. I know, I know. Come a little closer, sink to the sofa. She don't want my love. And now I feel like a blackout. New York City grid max out when she said adios, adios. So the thing is, normally if you envision a song like Adios existing before No, I wrote Johnny in ketchup. Could Johnny be an ENFJ? No, he's an introvert. He's an INFJ, and he's also too mistake free to be an ENFJ. Like, Billy Joel's a brilliant songwriter, an ENFJ songwriter, but he made lots of mistakes, right? It wasn't like he was mostly mistake free. In his current incarnation, Johnny's like entirely mistake free, except when he is making a mistake, it's he's very aware. Like the last song on the album is called "Selfish Hate." Why? Well, because it's like 7 minutes long. It's selfish of him to put it on the album, and it's gonna induce a lot of hate. I don't ever listen to the song, and here I am critiquing him about it. But he's one step ahead of me, right? He entitled it "Selfish Hate" for exactly that reason. And that, my friends, is some textbook INFJ kind of genius right there. You know full well exactly how other people are going to respond to what you're doing. You anticipate it, subvert it in the title, and do it anyway because you feel like it's the end of the album. Meanwhile, you probably have extra tracks that didn't make the album that are better, such as Boy Scout, which then gets released later as a single. Brilliant. I may find his inclusion of Selfish Hate on the album selfish, and I may hate it, but he's outsmarted me, and that's what matters. That's why I love INFJs. They outsmart me. That's the thing about like haters and shit. Haters are always desperately trying to outsmart me. But they're all idiots, so they never can. INFJs, on the other hand, well, yeah. If you look at how far she came from where she was, you look at outcomes. That's something I normally do, but Rachel has to be the smartest woman in the world. She found her way out of a horrible situation and into a dream situation simply by fucking Eric. Which isn't really that hard. I mean, I'm not saying it's like every woman's dream right there. But you know, it's International Johnny Week, Winston's mom, so everything is Johnny themed. And again, if you live near an International House of Pancakes, it is considered traditional to eat at International House of Pancakes during International Johnny Week. We don't have an International House of Pancakes near us, so we're not able to participate in that particular Johnny Week tradition. But it's not inconceivable that we'll go to breakfast at International House of Pancakes in San Luis Obispo after the show. That's conceivable. We could find an International House of Pancakes between here and San Luis Obispo, stop there and eat. That's conceivable. We want to, of course, because we want to do all the traditional Johnny stuff. And remember, as I believe it was Karma's Pimp pointed out the other day, during the Johnny Show Friday night, yeah, Johnny used to be going out with Doja Cat. Doja Cat fails completely in comparison to Johnny. Well, how about these lyrics for INFJ lyrics? He he's better than me. And oh my god, it fucking hurts because I'm not like other guys. I'm worse, and she's better than me. How INFJ are those lyrics? Talk about the opposite of self-aggrandizing. And what beta male in the world doesn't identify with those lyrics? Every single one of us do. He he's better than me. And oh my god, it fucking hurts because I'm not like other guys. I'm worse, and she's better than me. How resonant are those lyrics? What a genius. Johnny makes me so happy with his genius. I want to rejoice today in his vision. Whenever anybody's formerly something, they're also formerly X, formerly Twitter. You cloggy stem. It's like I can't even pull a single bowl without you clogging. What's wrong with you? Jesus Christ. Or as the old expression goes, Jesus Christ on a pogo stick. You know, I'm actually not super interested in interviews, stuff like that about Johnny. I would be super interested in interviewing him myself, but people don't ask good questions. You know, I'd ask questions like, in the original writing of the song Giving Up on You, were the lyrics, I'm a real life rock star, and you changed it to relapse to be more socially deft? Is that what happened there? That's a question I would ask, right? I would ask the question, when you originally wrote the song Everything, did it say it's everything, it's beautiful? And then you realized that was dumb and changed it to it's everything, that's all it is? Those are questions I would ask. Those are interesting questions. Those are good questions. Those are questions I actually want to know the answer to. Yeah, deft, not depth. Do you regret letting that other guy rap on that one song? You got the funk, makes me stupid, makes me drunk. Yeah, deft. I'll do anything that you want, anything that you want. No, the word is deft. D-E-F-T. It means skilled, adroit. I'm surprised people don't know that word. Google it. You got fingers. Plus, I just told you. Means skilled, adroit. You don't know how much. Diana Days, I don't think is somebody you should believe in right away. I'm highly skeptical. I think if I were to do a terror poll for Diana Days, it would come out Tower, Hierophant, Seven of Swords. An appearance of normality surrounded by lies and catastrophe. I like the attention. I like the interaction. You know, I have important things to say, but sometimes I'm just talking about random shit. A lot of times. So mostly it's because I want attention, like attention. You know, it's it's something that people used to ask, but I haven't heard asked in a long time, which is why are you YouTubing? Yeah, I like attention. I want attention. I like the socialization. You know, that's why I mostly live stream. Is I get to socialize. Um, I get to socialize with a lot of different people, and sometimes the same people. You know, I have a community of people who come here all the time, and I get to talk to them all the time. Like, for instance, Mom's here, Boba Fett's here. They're usually here, like, for most streams, you know. And I enjoy talking with them, and other people who come around, you know, that are regulars. I enjoy seeing them, but I also just enjoy. I like this format too, where I'm the one who gets to talk. Everybody else has to type things in. I can read them and respond to them. Winston's mom just looked into you, and she does this. This is what she does. She provides various informations and links and stuff as we talk. That's just her MO. Yes, I'm a debate coach, competition debate coach, or I was. I'm pretty much retired now from that. Uh, and I do typology stuff. I make pot roasts, you know. Do I ever get self conscious? No. Not very often. Not while streaming, certainly. Well, thanks, Diana Days. I was, in fact, a very good debate coach. My kids won a lot. My school won a lot. And you know, Jeffrey made, who I didn't coach him this year, but I've coached him for years. He made quarterfinals at nationals this year, which is pretty fucking impressive and very hard to do. And his mom was like disappointed. That is cook. I don't know what that means. I don't care. You're talking to me or somebody else? I don't. I don't lead with personality type in life or on a channel necessarily. It's what it's what's responsible for all of my subs basically is talking about personality type. It's to the extent that I make any money from this endeavor, it's because of personality type. But that's not what I'm not all about personality type or anything. Yeah, he made quarterfinals at nationals. They were fretting so much and meow 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 meow. He made quarterfinals at nationals, which is extremely good. I'm fond of Jeffrey's mom too, but sometimes she pisses me off. Like he doesn't like to accept my answers to things sometimes. Like the other day, she wanted me to look at this speech that Chloe was doing for English class. So I looked at it, I fixed it, I corrected the grammar mistakes or whatever, I added a little thing or two. She said, "Well, it's not long enough. It's supposed to be this long." I'm like, "Well, it's already too long. It's a speech about a character in a book. Who wants to listen to people talk about literature? Nobody. If she needs to make it longer, tell her to read it slower. She has to memorize it, to recite it slower. It's a super dumb assignment. I did all I could do with it. It's as good as that sort of thing can get, which is to say, boring but well written. And then she called me back later and says, "Well, Chloe added some more things. Can you look at it again?" No, I don't want to look at it again. I looked at it one time already. I told you the answers. I don't want to look at it again. Do I like life, Eric? Yeah, life's great. What's not to like? You know, it used to be difficult, life did. But now it's like that one song by that one band. Rachel and I could sing it together. Our house is a very, very, very nice house with two cats in the yard. Life used to be so hard. Now everything is easy because of you. Anyway, Rachel and I live up here in Mariposa out in the woods in this nice house. It's very comfortable and we don't really have any responsibilities. And so, yeah, life's great. We do have some chores to do. Like, I took out a bunch of trash yesterday, but I should break down some boxes and throw some other difficult trash away. Like these mini blinds, gotta throw them away and they don't really fit in the trash cans. And we've got old school trash service where the guy who comes around with a truck will pick up the trash cans. So we're only allowed to use to physically pick it up and throw it into the thing. That's how they do trash around here. Just like super olden days. Anyway, yeah, I love life. Life's great. Um, but I also have struggles, frustrations like anybody. Right now, I'm frustrated at my inability to get my prescription for Vyvanse. It makes me want to just be so mad. I haven't had it for weeks. And I like it. Sometimes. Not always, but I like having a cycle where I do some and then I don't do some. I do some and I don't do some. Do I consider myself a spiritual person? No, not really. I'm not an anti spiritual person. Um, I do pray at night. Guitar equals SE. No, TI is not especially spiritual. But you know, it's really SI that's not especially spiritual. NI tends to be a lot more spiritual than SI because SI is a subjective knowing function based on your experience in which you extrapolate out from your experience to know things about the world. Spirituality tends to view the self as somehow integrated fully into the world, or the self is best expressed with externality as a focus rather than internality. Sure, any FI can be spiritual. FI is another subjective epistemic function, so it kind of it kind of enables one to use non-rational paradigms more successfully. Unlike the knowledge subjective function SI, which makes it more difficult to use universal paradigms. So FI makes it more plausible for your person to use non-rational paradigms, but SI makes it less plausible for them to use universal paradigms. If you actually want to be typed correctly, Diana Days, hire me. I don't know if you've ever seen one of my typing sessions or not, but some people let me publish them. Some people choose not to. It's up to them. But uh, I actually test your cognitive functions and spend a lot of time getting to know who you are before I come to a conclusion about what type you are. Other people think they can type someone in like 15 seconds or something. I don't know why. Oh, that's right, because they're dumb. Because they're so dumb. You know, it's like a lot of people, when you, the question that she asked, or you asked, or whatever, it used to be asked all the time, and I haven't heard it in years. Why do you YouTube? And everybody used to say, because I want to help people. And I was the only one telling the truth. I said, because I like attention. I want to be seen as the smart guy with the answers, you know, obviously. It's $100 for an hour-long video, face-to-face conversation. And I've done many, many typings. I've got kind of a standardized approach. Certain questions reveal certain kind of things consistently from session to session. You can try to replicate the process yourself. It's objective data. Everybody can view it and interpret it how they want, and ask me questions about why I asked this question, what my process of thinking was, etc. You know, unlike anybody else who types, people, I'm actually accountable. What if I want to do YouTube because I feel like I have wisdom to share that's important to others? Well, I mean, that's a perfectly good reason to want to do YouTube. It's not necessarily going to play well with other people, though. Because by and large, the only people who are looking to be informed by someone else's insight are actually idiots, and they tend to find non insightful people to turn to for insight. Like Teal Swan and C.S. Joseph have way more subs than I do, and neither of them can incite their way out of a paper bag. They're just both horrible. What are you going to do? Intelligent people tend to have insight, maybe want to share it with others. Some people don't have insight, may seek it out, but aren't going to seek it out from people who have actual insight. because that's too complicated and difficult. So where does that leave me? Well, it leaves me with you 5 very special people who actually, for some reason, either appreciate, enjoy, or otherwise find value in what I'm doing. Ooh, Teal Swan? I don't know if she's a cult leader. I know she's a horrible guru, horrible TE Dom guru. A good guru says things like, there's nothing wrong with you. Right? Not, there is something wrong with you, and here's how you need to fix it. And I know because I'm Teal Swan. But how can anybody be a good guru without cognitive functions as a top level frame? You can't. You don't respect the differences between people adequately. And you don't understand where it comes from, so how can you possibly do a good job of understanding humanity as a whole? You're operating under a false paradigm that says people deviate from a single standard. Yeah. Rather than people express as one of 16 distinct meow. And that's why meowing is so meowable, meowing is so meow. You like Teal Swan? So Rachel bought a deck of cards from the ladies too. You know, this goes to show you. My own wife has a teal swan deck, or had one. So don't feel too bad. I find the woman absolutely unbearable. And her deck was so negative and such a TE Dom deck. It's like, here's what's wrong with you today. Here's what's wrong with you today. You care about other people's opinions too much. Oh, thanks, freaking frame bias projection. Thanks a lot. Thanks for projecting your 8th slat FE. Which those of us with FE feel really good about ourselves. Okay, Diana Days, because you are here and appear to be a real person, which I'm shocked about because I was 100% sure you were that troll that comes around. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for you. Now, let's see what your spirit guides have to say. All right, let's find out. I'm going to put them right there on that deck. We're going to do 2 cards down here. These are your frame cards. Stay. Those are your frames, okay? Now, we're going to do 3 cards up here. There. Now, one of your frames, your top level frame, you might say, is the Knight of Swords. Restless, hustle, clever, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. That's what it says on it. This is maybe how you view, like, what's important to you or something. This is a reversal, actually. A reversal of poverty. Well, that's good. I'm glad you're glad it's a reversal. So this is your bottom level frame. You're not poor. All right, now this is your directionality. Ooh, strength. You're moving towards strength, humility, patience, fortitude, calm, kind, tolerant. So you're moving towards. This is your self-concept. You view yourself as somebody who has doubts and worries. You're resistant and on guard. And this is the outcome. King of Pentacles. Established financier, patient, tycoon, King of Pentacles. So good for you. Good for you. What do you think, Diana Days? Do I believe each person has a purpose? That's a good question. Uh, I mean, I think it's good to operate within a frame of purpose to some extent. But that's the sort of thing that I leave up to a magical thinking frame, you know? It's not really a belief or do I believe in tarot? I mean, tarot, like praying, is a behavior. It's not an affirmation. So I'm not making any arguments. There's nothing to believe in or not, right? It's not something you should believe in or not. It's a behavior, like jogging. Do you believe in jogging if you go jogging? Well, you go jogging. You know, it's not a function of belief. Sometimes I find that the tarot pretty spooky. Anybody else want a tarot reading before I put the cards away? Yeah, Steve Martin finds a special purpose in The Jerk. It's to get blowjobs, by the way. Spoiler alert. I do believe in Johnning. That's true. Johnning is when you go caroling during International Johnny Week, but you only sing Johnny songs. Does anybody else want a tarot card reading before I put the tarot cards away? I will pull some cards for you if you say yay instead of nay. Good Johnning. During Johnny Week, we should refer to every morning as Johnning. K. Rule? Okay, this reading is for K. Rule. I don't know who that is, but let's see what his spirit guides have to say. All right, this is his top level frame. This one is his bottom level frame. K. Rule, huh? King K. Rule. Well, of course they do. That's how tarot works. Directionality. Self-concept. And outcome. Okay. Let's read them. Good artist? Okay, I'll check it out maybe. King K. Rule, huh? Top level frame is this one. Uh-oh. Stressed and worried. Bottom level frame, regret and sad and grief. Oh, he's got some struggles in his life, I guess. Directionality, new ideas. Self-concept. He sees himself as the Knight of Rods, dynamo, passionate, charming, cocky athlete. And the outcome, oh no, King K. Rule, you're going to get heartbroken. Well, maybe it'll inspire some more good art from you. Well, there you go. King K. Rule has a lot of heartache, stress, worry, regret, sad. Look at that. Nevertheless, he still sees himself as a dynamo. So that's good to know. How about you, Show Media? Do you want a tarot card reading? Let's see what it has to say about Show Media. Whose name is interestingly a command. To show media. You show media right now. Command with an implied you. I was delighted when I discovered that. I asked him about it one day. Oh, that's wonderful, I said. Or something equivalent. You stay there. All right, show media. Top level frame. Death. Death is your top level frame. Boo, 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 boo. Transform, release. Done. Change, death. Your bottom level frame is the Knight of Cups. Romantic, artistic, Scorpio. What does that say? Cancer, Pisces, lover, Knight of Cups. Your directionality. You're moving towards marriage. Rejoice, happy, bliss, family. Your self-concept is Three of Cups. Play, celebrate, friends. Yay, we're all getting drunk. And the outcome is, uh-oh. Bum, 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 bum. Seven of Swords. Betrayal, exploit, guile, unethical. Uh-oh. So watch out, show media. Watch out for a guy in a little brown hat. This guy cannot be trusted. Okay? You take a good look at it. This is an accurate police sketch. Oh, it is Wednesday, so remember, Wonder Points values are doubled. Goodbye, Diana Days. Have a pleasant day and afternoon and evening. You can have a pleasant all three. Does anybody else want a tarot pull? Does anybody else want to know what their spirit guides have to say? I think I'll pull one. I think I'll pull one for me. Okay. Here we go. Let's see what I get. The piggity pout and the piggity pig. That one goes there, and that one's for me. Let's find out, what the tarot has to say to thee. There. Oh, this one on the right. Okay, that one was really insistent that it come out. On the left? In the middle. Okay. And what's left? On the left. Okay, well, you were quick to talk to me today, Tarot Deck. I appreciate you not dithering. My bottom level frame is the Hanged Man, and this is because I'm waiting for my Vivance. How much weight is what? Jordan Holstein? Yes, the cat is sleeping. My top level frame is the Six of Pentacles. Benefit, reward, gain, charity, profit. My directionality is moving towards the Queen of Rods. Vivacious, extrovert, fiery, gracious, fun. My self-concept, regret, sad, mourn, woe, grief. My outcome, Page of Pentacles. Payment, news, gain, perk, bonus, royalty. Well, good for me. How much is 50 grams of weed? Well, 7 grams of weed is a quarter. 28 grams of weed is an ounce. 50 grams of weed is a little less than 2 ounces. 6 grams less than 2 ounces. Does that answer your question? How much is in this bag of weed? I don't know. This is the sandwich bag full of weed. Probably over an ounce, I'd say. Maybe 2 ounces, maybe an ounce and a half. I'm not sure. I don't have a scale or anything. That's not a sun shaft, actually. I see it clearly. But this is just a light trick. You can't see that at all in real life. I don't know why it's doing that. There's a light here that, yeah, this light is very bright. And I guess it comes out like a magical beam of sun. That's for Johnny, okay? That's the torch sending out illumination in celebration of Johnny. So it's a Johnny rainbow. It's what's called a Johnny rainbow. It's pretty cool. I like that. I didn't see it until you pointed it out. Boba Fett, you get a tarot pull, and this time I can just feel it. It's gonna be a good one. I know the tarot is not often very nice to you, but this time I can feel it. We got upside down one for bottom frame. Sometimes that doesn't bode well. This one? Okay. No, not that one. That's triple. Yeah, this one, okay. Sir is quick today. It's not dithering. I like that. Okay. Top level frame. Wealth, inheritance, property. The Ten of Pentacles. Bottom level frame is the reversal of temperance. So that's opposite temperance. The directionality, you're moving towards the Hanged Man? Oh no. Your self-concept, Six of Pentacles. Benefit, reward, profit, gain, charity, increase, generous. Your outcome, that's pretty good. Earth Mama. This is the Queen of Pentacles. Honorable, successful, and sensual. I always said, and when people ask me, what 3 adjectives would you use to describe Boba Fett? I've always said, honorable, successful, and sensual. No, he doesn't make me watch him poop. He doesn't mind if I'm in there when he poops, but he doesn't need me to watch him poop. I have watched Trouble Eat already. Yo, typology question about the third slot. If the extroverted doesn't want to receive or give, e.g. FE wants it externally, so would FI3 want to give the FI or receive the FI? I find the FI wants to give. In other words, like my friend Cameron, he wants to be of use, be seen to be useful, to do nice things for me, etc. And FE third wants to receive the FE, is to have other people be like, you're so smart. So it would seem in that regard that in the third slot, the desired thing is reversed. Like third slot NE wants to successfully anticipate all the possible problems that might arise that interfere with your plan. And or, your plan, whether it's a social plan or a TE kind of a plan. You're going to use any internally to anticipate all the possible problems. And if you can do that and and obviate those problems, then you're like, fuck yeah. That's for like ESTJs and ESFJs. So it would seem, just based on my musings right now, not that I've really considered this question before, that it's opposite. Like, if it's extroverted, you want to receive it. If it's introverted, you want to give it. If it's extroverted NE, means you want to ideate internally. If it's extroverted SE, I'm not sure how that would work. It's like, I guess you want impacts for yourself rather than impacts that generalize. Thank you, Winston's mom. Yes, money. I'm pretty sure there is. Okay. I am pretty sure there is. I don't have that explanation for you. I've thought about it some, the matter of like how each function expresses it as a relationship between subject, object, agent, and field. So whether external metaphysical, internal metaphysical, external physical, internal physical, and how those things link to slot. But there's so many moving parts there that I haven't quite figured it out. Probably takes an INTP to figure that one out. I don't know if I got it in me. Because you got three vectors to factor in. You got slot, you got subject, object, agent, and you've got field. So, and possibly even directionality. I don't know. It's complicated, is the bottom line, that explanation. I believe there is an explanation. I believe there is a single correct understanding of those vectors interacting that once it's articulated will make the whole thing go bah! But I don't have that answer for you. SI third wants to establish the accuracy of things. I would say no to that question, but it's an interesting notion. I think the SI third wants to do external things to make themselves feel better. And or they care, put it this way, I think SI third cares more about the metaphysical half of SI than the physical half. I think it cares more about creating a self story that's free of mistakes, for example, than it does about the physical things making themselves comfortable, although that's important to them, but it's more instrumental than would normally be expected as an absolute value. So what they absolutely value most is their memories as articulated in words to themselves and or others, especially to others potentially if you're like, I don't know, if you're an INTP. If you're an INFP, I'm not sure. I know INFPs like to bond with others over shared memories. That's kind of externalizing it. But I don't know. It's like the question by money explains why I'm not answering the question you're asking very well, or why I'm not answering the question that money first asked very well, because the actual explanation involves those things. Well, if you could solve the problem, money, that would be fantastic. It involves those probably four, at least three, but probably four vectors. Okay, because it's like there's the slots, the fields, and subject, agent, object. There's four fields. There's three subject, agent, three perspectives, subject, agent, object, and 8 slots. But then the fourth thing could be instrumentality, absolute valueness, or it could be directionality, like extroversion, like directs outward normally, right? But that directionality, I think, is covered under fields. So the fourth thing, if it's gonna be anything would be what I just said. I don't know. When I start thinking about all this shit, my SI and TI go, you are not expecting us to do this job, are you? Because we're not up to it. They're just standing on the sidelines with their arms folded saying, Eric, this is too many things. You cannot think about this enough. You'll never figure this out. No, not rational or irrational. Maybe you just really need the three things. Maybe every other thing I can. Oh, absolute or instrumental. That's the fourth thing. Absolute versus instrumental. Okay? That's the fourth thing that you need to factor in. Which, but see, you might also need to factor in whether a given, I guess that's covered by slots. Slots is a big category, it covers lots of things. So if you include absolute, instrumental, and slots, then maybe you just need the three things. I don't know. That's why I haven't solved the problem yet. That's why somebody else needs to solve it. Because as you can see, I am overwhelmed by the problem. I have to get a lighter. I'm obsessed with slots. And it's important to remember that slots are like irrational numbers. They aren't exactly real things, but they're necessary to get from here to here. So, in order to talk about how the dominant and tool function define your relationship with the other functions, we need to artificially create this thing called slots to discuss it, you know. But slots are really just a way of treating something fluid as static to allow us to talk about it. Something implicit as explicitly distinct, you know. Something that's implicitly a relationship between possible ways of paying attention is treated as a separate expression of each way of paying attention, even though it's not. I kind of got a bit of a stomach ache. Who drew what though? That's not a drawing. That's twisty tie guy. Twist tie guy. He's made out of twist ties. I made him. I made him out of twist ties. He protects the house from bad juju. All right, woodland friends. See, let's show you him. Hi, I'm Twist Tie Guy. How you doing? I protect the home from bad juju. Go with my friends. Here's your cutlet. I know you love cutlet so much. This is part of my Cutlets for Johnny campaign. I'm trying to give woodland cutlets to the woodland friends, but I provide them in Johnny's name. The woodland friends, those cutlets today are from Johnny. That should make them extra delicious. Part of my whole campaign to initiate, celebrate, and otherwise concretize International Johnny Week. To set a precedent that'll last for generations to come. Russell Brand is a douchebag. Russell Brand can suck my twigs and berries. There, we've got a ray of sunshine again. Just to move it so it looks like it's coming out of the torch. There. Pow! Isn't that excellent? That's an excellent ray of sunshine. Right, let me make it better. Pow! Now it looks like it's shooting from the torch. Right? It totally looks like it's shooting out of the torch. Pow! Wow, how did they get that torch to shoot a beam of light? Don't worry, I'll get it with my torch beam of light machine. Pow, pow. That's cool. All right. Anyway, I like that beam of light. And now it looks like it's curved. Now it looks like there's two beams of light. Those are called Johnny Bows. How much fuel is that thing using? I don't know. I don't usually leave it on. It lasts for a long time, one of these bottles. This is MAP gas. My other one is propane. This is the new thing that's not actually MAP gas. It's like MAP gas. They got rid of MAP gas, real MAP gas for some reason. I'm not sure why. Not very often. Very, very infrequently. Because I mean, normally when I use it, first of all, I don't use it on full blast like that. It has this little knob that lets you turn it down. So normally I use it like this to light bong rips, right? That's not using very much fuel. Anyway, as you see, we're celebrating International Johnny Week with two naturally occurring Johnny bows in shot. I was lucky to capture a couple of Johnny bows this morning on camera. You can see my telescope over there. I need to finish putting that telescope together. Maybe I should do that right now. I'm almost done. I've got everything done except for these pieces right here. These pieces and that piece. That's all there is left to assemble to the whole telescope. Then it'll be done. It says, don't look at the sun with your telescope. I wasn't planning on looking at the sun, okay? Sun's dumb. I'm going to look at the moon because I'm smart like that. And some stars, some planets. I'm going to see some UFOs up close. Little green guys waving at me from the window. It's going to be awesome. I'm excited about it. You know, in the absence of any Vyvanse, I've got to find other things to be excited about. So, what am I excited about? Well, I'm a little excited about this pot roast. Gotta be done. I mean, it's cooked all night long on low. It cooked like for hours yesterday on high. Let's look at it. Take a look. I think this needs to be turned over again. So let's turn that over again. As per me. There. Now that thing's falling apart proper. All right. Meow what? Meow. You want me to watch you eat again? All right, come on. Let's eat. Put the lid back. I'm going to put this back on high. And just let it just rock and roll. Until I'm hungry this morning. Okay, I'm coming to watch you eat. God. Even though I've already watched you eat like twice this morning. Yes. Oh, yes. Daddy knows. And Daddy knows. So anyway, we're watching the cat eat again. Rachel yesterday was like, I hate watching the cat eat. It's so boring. Like, I know, but it's just our cross to bear in life. We have to watch the cat eat. Oh, meow, or else he'll meow at us with such indignant meows. Nobody wants that kind of indignation from their cat. Yes, you guys heard the indignant meow. You know, you couldn't resist that. Who can say no to that? You know you're in trouble when you hear a meow like that. Oh, Mr. Meow. What a good kitty. Yes. Daddy knows. And Daddy loves you. Yes, he does. He knows and loves. And loves and knows. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And he's proud of you for eating. And impressed. I'm very impressed by your eating, as usual. Oh, yes. I'm so glad you're letting me watch you eat. It was what I had. It's the number one thing I had on the list of things to do today, was watch you eat. I was just had fingers crossed, please, dear God, let me watch him eat. And here I am, living the dream. This cat, I tell you. What are you going to do when we go to the Johnny concert, Trouble? You're not going to want Cameron to watch you eat, are you? He doesn't like Cameron. He doesn't like anybody but me and Rachel. Oh, yes. What a good friend. What a good kitty feline. What a good frisky friend. What a good frisky feline. What a feline friend. What a fun feline friend. What a fun and frisky feline friend you are. That's why Daddy both knows and loves. Yes. Oh, yes. You're a very good kitty. Now that is enough watching you eat, okay? You're gonna have to learn to eat by yourself. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be a dick about it, but we don't necessarily love watching you eat. Poor little Eric is out of cigarettes. What will he do today? Poor little Eric. Poor little Eric. Poor little Eric. Oh, hey. Yes, I did use red wine. I used red wine. I put a bottle of Guinness into there. It's also got some Captain Morgan spiced rum, a can of beef broth, a can of chicken broth. It's got dried onion. It's got garlic powder, salt, pepper, ketchup, mustard, onions, carrots, potatoes, and a tri-tip. Code Compliance Advisory Committee, Wednesday, September 20th, in 7 hours. Oh my God. I love Code Compliance Advisory Committee meetings. That's like my very favorite thing. Code Compliance Advisory Committee meeting? How could I possibly miss that? Nothing is as interesting to me as the bureaucratic mechanisms of code compliance. You know, I am just I could live, drink, eat, sleep that stuff. It's like eat, sleep, code compliance, repeat. But I am glad to know Winston's mom that should I choose to go, oh, I missed, I haven't missed it yet. No, it's on the 20th, but that's today. I picture an excited ESTJ handing out agendas to everybody. Okay, here's the agenda for today's Code Compliance Advisory Committee meeting. Eric, would you like to be on the Code Compliance Advisory Committee? No, thank you. It's a joke about an existing song, Winston's mom, which is called Eat, Sleep, Rave, Repeat. There. A little less clogged. This thing clogs like the toilets in Arcadia. I don't know how much other people pay a month for water. We pay $60 a month for unlimited water. I think that's very good in California. But I don't know for sure. And we don't access. What was that? What the hell was that noise? I'm gonna go look outside. What was that noise, though? Sometimes there's some strange noises around here. I don't know what they are. Oh, yeah, it might have been Trouble. Trouble was right there. He might have been, hacking up a fur ball or whatever. He likes to do that sometimes. I feel a poop coming on. That's good. That's big news. If you're a regular, you know that live streaming normally makes me poop. Live streaming is sometimes called nature's laxative. Walking around is another one of nature's laxatives. If you walk around some, it kind of jostles the poop loose. So I'm going to demonstrate walking around for you so you can see what it looks like. Okay. This poop has been jostled loose. So let's go inside. Let's release it into the toilet where it belongs. Instead of into my bun huggers. Yes, I'm wearing bun huggers. Why? Well, because it's part of my general advocacy in favor of bun huggers. And part of my role as a board member of the Bun Hugger Advisory Committee. I'm also was chosen as the model for the 2024 Bun Hugger calendar for all the months. It's going to be me in various poses in my bun huggers. One of them is going to be the yoga pose Happy Baby. People, I think it's going to be July or June. Because me and my bun huggers doing Happy Baby. So they expect it to sell 6 billion copies. That's their estimates right now for the calendar. I'm like, what about the other billion people? And they said, well, actually only 5 billion distinct people will buy it, but 1 billion of them will buy it twice. So what about the other 2 billion? The newborn babies, infants, toddlers, you know. Okay, fair enough, I said. Fair enough. I guess those people have an excuse. Well, I'd expect by age 4 that people should be able to buy the calendar. Oh, kitty, yes. Daddy knows. And Daddy loves. Daddy sees. Daddy values. Daddy admires. Yes. All of that and more. Yes. Why are you getting all big eyes with me? I know what big eyes mean. Violence incoming. Watch out, mister. My claws are going to scratch you. That's what big eyes means. Oh, now you want more pats? Well, you're going to have to give me small eyes before you get more pats. But right now, I don't trust you. Going pee and poo is like me and you. We're meant to go together. Kind of a weird love song. Going pee and poo is like me and you, made to go together. Well, I feel somewhat better having peed and pooed. Well, I may have another poop coming later, but I think I'm done for now. When I was making the pot roast yesterday, I unplugged the cat's water thing. I didn't want to splash water into the pot roast. I forgot to plug it back in. And now there are dirty cat paw prints all over the toilet seat. Because the cats drank out of the toilet. I will wipe off the cat paw prints. There. There. Okay, well, now that we've gone poo and pee, if you kissed him closely, I also have to say for the umpth time that life isn't fair. It's just fairer than death. That's all. That's a good quote. I like that one. You get a wonder point for that, Winston's mom. I like it. Yes, I would take it a dub. I feel a lot better now that I have too. I really do think that love is the best thing in the world except for cough drops. Cough drops aren't very good. Hi, kitty woman. You are the kitty woman that we all dream of in our kitty woman dreams. Yes. And Daddy knows, and Daddy loves. And he pets. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Yes. Daddy knows, and he loves, and he pets, and he admires. Yes. He admires and respects. Oh, yes. You're constantly re-astonishing me again with your beauty again for the first time forever without stopping. Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. You want the ear pets, I know. Daddy knows what you like. Yes, he does. Oh, such a good kitty. So full of wonder and glory, majesty and glory, wonder and wonderful things. Oh, yes, Daddy knows, and Daddy loves. Yes, he does. Yes, you're not like trouble. You're not gonna scratch me if I pet you too much. You'll just get down. Like a sane kitty. Unlike your toxic brother who's suffering from BPD or something. Yes. Yes, your brother has borderline personality disorder. Yes, he does. Oh, yes. Oh, pets and glory. Oh, goodness and truth. Oh, justice and wonder. These are the things that you make me think of. Daddy knows. Because Daddy loves. Oh, yes. Yes. Special Daddy Kitty intimacy time. That's right. Oh, yes. What a goodness and truth and justice warrior you are. Yes. You fight for the cause of good. You bring justice and truth into the world. Yes, you do. You resolve moral conundrum with your beauty and grace. Yes, you do. You know that my cat resolves moral conundrum with her beauty and grace? It's true. Absolutely true. Oh, yes. Yes. Daddy does what? What does Daddy do? It is Wednesday, so wonder point values are doubled. Okay. Did I stop petting you? I am sorry. I deserve to be scolded with your glance towards me that says, pet me more. Don't get down. Daddy knows, and Daddy loves. So let's see what Crunchyrolls come out today, if any. I'm always interested in seeing that. Nothing yet, but I think something is coming out today. Not sure what it is. View release calendar. Today, let's look at last Wednesday. Oh, vending machines coming out at 7 a.m. That's fantastic. Also, Sacrificial King, Princess and King of Beasts is coming out at 8:30, and Undead Murder Farce at 10:30. So these are all three of those are very worth watching. I'm excited to see those. The first one comes out in just 6 minutes, just 6 short minutes. Well, Kitty here does her job diligently. When there was a lizard inside last night, she was staking out the chair that it had run underneath until, I don't know, forever, until she got it, I guess. Meanwhile, Trouble was in bed with Rachel just soaking up the pets. Caprio doesn't need much attention or love. She's very independent. Trouble's very needy. But Caprio and I have daddy kitty time periodically, every day at some point. So she knows how loved she is. Yes. Yes, daddy loves you. Oh, yes. What a kitty cheeks you are. Yes. Daddy knows. Daddy knows what a kitty cheeks you are. Oh, yes. This is a treat. She's not actually normally that affectionate, so. I really enjoy Reborn as a Vending Machine. I now wander the dungeon. It's my favorite cartoon of the new year here, the new season, the current season, which is not new anymore at all. Oh yeah, Daddy knows. Yes, he does. Oh, what a very good kitty. What a very good kitty you are. And I'll pet you on your head, and I'll pet you on your body, and I'll pet you near and far. Oh, pet you on the ears, pet you on the cheeks, pet you on the ears again every day, all weeks. Everybody knows kitty needs pets, and daddy gives those. Yes, he does. Oh, yes. You are a beautiful wonder, a delightful delight of truth, justice, and the American way. You have amber waves of kitty grain and purple mountain majesties embedded in your heart. Yes, you do. Oh, yes. And Daddy knows. Thank you for the head push. Oh, Daddy loves the head push. Yes, he does. Oh, yes. Yes, and yes. And yes, and yes, and yes. And yes, and yes. Yes. That's what Daddy has to say to you. And you just shout everybody your butthole like it's not a big deal. It's okay. Even your butthole is beautiful, Capio. It's the most beautiful butthole I've seen since Rachel's. Not that I really care about buttholes that much. Oh, oh yes. These pets are deeply, deeply sensual. This is the kind of deep sensuality that brings us close together. Yes, you and me, Capio. Father and daughter. You remember when I gave birth to you? You came out of my womb? Yes, you did. Who was born of Daddy's womb? You were. Yes, you were. You were born of Daddy's womb. When Daddy was gravid with child, the child within was you. Oh, yes. Yes, it's true. Oh, yeah. Daddy knows. Daddy loves. Yes, our intimate times are very special to me too, Kitty. Oh, yes. See that cat enjoying her pets? She's really getting up on them. That's a good sensual intimacy time for me and Capio. It really builds deep bonds, doesn't it? Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. Daddy knows. Oh, yes. And Daddy loves. Can you feel the intimacy through the camera? I think you can. You can see her lifting her paw up a little bit. That's when she's really into it, you know. Okay. Okay. Daddy knows. Yeah. What a sweetie patootie. Hi, fellow human. This is an ISTJ cat, actually. This is rare. This maybe happens once a day where Kitty and I have some intimacy time. But mostly she's busy cleaning herself, eating, going outside, sleeping. She's a very self-sufficient cat, unlike Treble, who requires constant attention. He's over there just basically, he likes to guard passageways to prevent Capio from going where she wants to go. Oh, yes. But Capio is a sweetheart, which is what her name means in Hawaiian. It's spelled with a K. Kapio means sweetheart in Hawaiian. Oh, goodness gracious me, you kitty. You wanting so many pets? That's too many pets. Over here, you can see Treble is guarding the passageway so that nobody can go in there except for him. He also likes to guard the cat doors so that he can abuse Capio. He's not a very nice cat to her. He hasn't learned to apply his lovingness to his sister. He probably got a cool cat, is what happened, I guess. So I am more or less out of cigarettes, which is, of course, pretty frustrating. I got a fair number of butts left, which is good. But at some point this morning, or today, I'm going to have to go to town and get cigarettes. Last time when I went to Boot Jack, I didn't get a full carton because they were busy and I didn't want to bug them. So, oh, I know why, because they couldn't get. I wanted to pay cash for it, and the ATM wasn't working, so I couldn't get cash out. So I just spent the cash I had in my pocket, which was enough for like 3 packs. So I run out of cigarettes. Much to my frustration. You know, I can live without smoking every 5 seconds. I usually don't, but it's possible. No, I don't feel like doing all that. We got delicious pot roast that is ready to go anytime. It's gonna be delicious, I think. Right now it's still cooking. You know, it can cook until the liquid starts to reduce some, and in a crock pot that takes forever. We got a lot of liquid in there. No water, but lots of liquid. The last pot roast we made came out phenomenal. But the last pot roast we made, I had a packet of ranch dressing to put in there, which really does seem to add some real flavor to it. I didn't have that this time. But compensated by adding a lot of garlic powder and chopped onions and stuff like that, or dried onions. As well as most of a fresh onion as well. Put some white onions in this time instead of red onions. Red onions have a little bit more flavor. Rachel seems to think that white onions smell better. We have a few days during the week when no one is around that drives for money, delivers, or Ubers. Oh, well, I mean, there is no Uber up here. There is no Uber Eats, no DoorDash. We can potentially have groceries delivered, but we don't. We just go to the store. Um, Probably saves us a lot of money not having DoorDash. We were really DoorDashing the fuck out of our meals prior to moving here. Now we mostly eat at home. Almost always. It takes at least minimum 20 minutes to get to the closest place that sells anything for me. It's like there's nothing that way. You can't go. There's nothing that way. You can't go that way, and there's nothing that way anyway. It's just forest. You can't go that way without going that way a long ways first. And when you do go that way, there's nothing that way except eventually you get to the highway, and then you can turn left and go to the town. So, what's closer than the town are either the Triangle Road Market or the Boot Jack Market, They're both about 20 minutes away. The Bootjack Market is a better place to buy cigarettes. So that's where I go because they're cheap there. And so for me, just to go get cigarettes, you're looking at a minimum of a 45-minute trip, round trip. 20 minutes there, 5 minutes in the store, 20 minutes back, right? So deciding to get something is kind of a big ordeal. Like if I had been smart instead of indulgent, I wouldn't have done what I felt like, which was live streaming. I would have gotten up, waited till like 6 a.m. and left right then for. I just buy one carton at a time. I would have left before the cone putters started, you know? Now the cone putters are out. So we're looking at, it's a minimum hour trip to get cigarettes, round trip. Because the cone putters add at least a total of 15 minutes to your trip, maybe even more. So you gotta factor the cone putters in because they're always putting cones. Anyhow, the long and the short of it is I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna watch a cartoon, and then I'm gonna probably go to the store and get cigarettes. Even though I'll probably maybe, well, probably not. I'm hopeful that I might have to go to the town later to get my Vyvanse, but probably not. All right. Anyway, thanks for being here, everybody. I love you. I'll see you later.